the paging shop, and then Nerf pulled up with the big van.
Yeah.
It was rap with blonde hair, and that's how I met E1 through Nerf.
Oh, so you know each other before they know each other.
Yeah.
I met Ice. I had a little detail shop. I always had a little hustle. Remember Giovanni Rim?
Yeah.
When he had the shop down the street.
Yeah.
Before he was Giovanni.
You talking about Deco? Deco, you saw on Modern Auto. I used to get all my rims from there. My first set of Dayton's from a Hyundai and all that.
He had money before he had Giovanni.
He still got money. He come out his as
Used to fix all.
Tina. As a matter of fact, that guy he's talking about Deco. His name's Deco, but he comes out on like Orange County Housewives.
Oh,
But he owns Giovanni rims and all that. But he set up a shop called Modern Auto. That's old school, dude. Modern Auto, New Image with Norm, White Boy Norm, and all that. Jeff.
I'm the stage director.
I pulled up on E1. He had the 3 Series, little BMW. I had the big 5 Series.
Yeah.
Giovanni.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pulled up on the big 5 on him with that peanut butter interior. He didn't know what to say. Like,
I was the first motherfucker on 22s though. I tell
You were?
that much. Hell yeah, my Escalade.
Yeah, you
And
had
then
all kind of
Giovanni's.
cars.
Now I'm just a family man.
That's cool. That's cool.
I live the life that I have.
You gotta
I'm
slow
sorry.
down at some point.
That part. Wouldn't change it for shit.
No.
At all. At all. All right, 1 2 1 2. You got good.
That's the
got
smart
good
thing
sound
to
right
say
here.
while your wife's in here.
Okay.
Yeah. She's like, she's looking at you like.
She know me. That's my girl. Everything happened for a reason. That's my boo boo.
Here we go.
Get on my fucking nerves, but we
Go
good.
ahead, Ice. Go ahead.
1 2 1 2. Here we go. We got the pricks. We got my boy in the house, Big Chris Williams.
What's up, Chris?
Hey, it's good to be here with you guys.
No. Thanks for coming in and
No,
rapping
yeah,
out with
thank
us.
you.
Hey,
Appreciate
we do all kind of people here, all kind of different
Yeah, we do.
guest artists.
Yeah,
we
we
never
do.
had a doctor though.
Never had a doctor.
We never had a doctor,
Well,
so
technically
I'm psyched.
Doctor.
technically not a doctor.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, you could, all right.
Dr. Feelgood.
And we ain't talking about Dr. Dre. Right? Tell the people what you do.
All
Yep.
right, my name, Chris Williams. I'm a marriage and family therapist.
Nice.
That's the license, but I just do a lot of different therapy. I do a lot of addiction, a lot of trauma. I work with a lot of people in both what we call C-suite or C-levels. It's like corporate executives, as well as people in the entertainment. But I've had the opportunity to work with, I mean, just the whole gamut. And that's the awesome thing about practicing here in
You
California.
do children too, kids,
Not right now.
teenagers.
I graduated from that. They scare
Okay.
me, man. They freak me out. You
Wow.
know,
Why?
so it's just a different world. Like you got to get into their world,
Yeah.
and it's just harder for me to get into that world. So I've hired a couple people underneath me that
Oh, nice.
really do. They bang it out with the kids.
So you
man.
got
They do
you got
awesome,
a whole
awesome,
you got your
awesome
own
work.
office.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good for you, man. Where you located at?
I have an office in Brea,
Nice.
and then an office in Newport Beach.
Okay.
All right.
And I'm hoping by 2019 to get an LA office.
You'll get
Wow.
it.
So
Well,
yeah.
congratulations on all that.
What type
Hey,
of addiction or anything like that? I'm sorry.
go
I didn't mean
ahead,
to
go
cut you
ahead.
off. What type of
all
addiction?
kinds. I mean,
Okay.
I cut my teeth on drugs and alcohol, but really what I'm known for now is sexual addiction.
Wow.
Really?
Sexual. Wow.
Yeah.
How do you know if you're sexually addicted? How do you know that? How do you know if you're sexually addicted?
Hey, listen. If yeah.
If you wake up with a circus tent, you're sexually addicted or what?
no.
That part.
That's called being a male.
That's
If you
what I
wake up with a
thought.
circus tent.
That's what I thought. You know, but hey, yeah.
Yeah, that's a
So,
human
so
being.
how do you figure that out? They come to you and say, "Doctor, I'm
usually
I'm beating off
something-
100 times a day," or
Well,
what is
I
it?
mean, usually it's something like the marriage is falling apart
serious.
because, like,
Yeah, I know you are.
yeah, because the guy can't keep it together. He's
The guy?
Yeah.
yeah.
Because you would think that the women would shut down before a man, right?
No,
'Cause
that's
men,
that guy. That's the Eric Benet. Like Eric Benet when he had the problems with the Holly Berry and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sexual
I didn't
addiction.
even
No,
know
no,
about
real
that.
talk. Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
But
yeah.
no, but
Eric
he
Benet.
was cheating.
But
though.
you-
Yeah, no,
Right?
but he was
No, but-
cheating, but he had like his sex
Yeah.
drive. I think was really high or something like that. Am I
Well,
right?
yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. So
Yeah.
it's not that the man.
ED
shut-
is actually really common
I
with
got-
sexual addiction.
Hey, you know how
Wow.
you guys came up with ED?
What's
I
that?
came up with DP.
What's DP?
Dead pipe. So when you're gonna diagnose somebody on the low,
Hey man, you got the D.
you might be
got the-
suffering from DP, buddy. Here goes a couple of things that might help you out. You know?
My friend T-Nut.
Tell him that.
He's
Tell
got
him
the
that.
official diagnosis in the DSM.
You got that T-nut right there, that DP.
DP. So back to the question: how do you know when somebody's sexually? What did you call it?
Addicted.
Yeah.
So there's three primary criteria that I'm looking for. One is that you want to stop and you can't.
Okay.
2 is starting.
Stop what?
Like stop sexually acting, or like stop the sexual experiences.
Like masturbating?
It could be masturbating. It could be porn. It
Wow,
could
that's
be affairs. It could be anything.
Okay.
But like you're using it to medicate, like everything, you know,
Right.
like life.
Wow.
And so you like can't function that well without it. Then the other aspect is if it starts messing with your relationships. And so like if you're in a committed relationship and you can't stay committed to it, faithful to it, and your partner has a big deal with it, which most do,
Of course.
then you know you want to stay committed, but you can't, and you realize that you got a big problem. And then the other thing is that
So would you call like somebody cheating on their spouse sexually addicted?
no.
Okay.
No, I mean, because like infidelity, cheating, affairs. I mean, that happens. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean a person's addicted.
Right.
And so, because the other thing too is it's like the addiction itself starts consuming amount of time that interferes with like daily functioning. Like you don't sleep, you're not getting to work,
Okay.
or you're getting busted at work for looking at porn or whatever the case may be. Yeah.
God
Wow.
damn, I have all them symptoms.
Yeah. I got some people for you.
When you said you don't sleep, I was like,
I do
"Damn,
not
I
sleep.
ain't
I
slept
get
in
no
like
sleep at
15
night."
years.
I'm kind of like Adidas. All day I dream of sex. I'm sorry. That's old school. Remember that?
Yeah.
I'm a
Adidas.
zombie right now. So you say, I come to you, right? I say, hey doc, I can't sleep. I got a wood all day long. Right?
It's usually the opposite problem. I can only get it up
Wow.
with
Somebody
porn
else?
or with like a crazy experience. So it's driven by intensity. So like you need like crazier and crazier experiences
Wow.
just to get it up.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, like
Oh,
regular
so
sex won't
you're
do
just
it.
okay.
Wow.
So your mind's somewhere else. In
Yeah.
other words, you're just
Yeah.
not interested in the regular.
Well, you know, one of the primary psychological definitions is it's a radical commitment to escape reality. And so, like if I just don't like the way my life is going right now, hey, if whether I do a drug, whether I drink myself silly, or whether I just, you know, I'm out of my mind sexually, I get out of my mind.
right.
Element. Wow.
And
okay.
so that's the thing that really signifies, like, hey, things are spinning out of control.
Yeah.
That's damn near like
That's
being with somebody, and
crazy.
after that, you put like a different head on a different body.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's true. It's true.
What you just like?
No, like you having
Yeah,
sex
yeah.
with somebody, but you're thinking about somebody else or something like that, maybe.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
whole thing. That's the whole thing. Is like, it's really you can't be intimate with somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's sex without the connection.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's how you know, like the.
Do you get couples to come in, or is it
Yeah.
do you focus on them being there together, or do you like to do a one-on-one, or
Yeah, because for a
question.
lot of partners of sex addicts, it's traumatic for them. I mean, that betrayal is serious, and it cuts and it cuts deep, and so I want them.
oh, the cheating part? you're talking
Yeah.
about. Okay.
So, or I mean, even if so, it's like, you know.
Have you ever had anybody come in and say, "Hey, my husband doesn't want to bang me," or "My wife's not giving me any," or
Wow.
that kind of situation?
Yeah.
Then you kind of
I assess it, see what's
okay.
going on, and then because they're getting it somewhere else.
oh, what?
Yeah.
Is that what you end up kind of diagnosing,
It's not
or does
all-
it
no,
come
it's-
out on its own?
You got to build a lot of trust and safety in the room because
Right.
I mean, we're talking about it here.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't want to talk about this.
Of
Because
course, it's private.
Yeah, it's private, and
Closed
it
door.
also comes with a lot of shame, and that's the buzz driver of it.
And if you have a family, it's probably even. If you have
it's
children,
brutal.
it's probably crazy to talk about any of that.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you try to restore the family.
Yeah.
The
well,
marriage.
Yeah, you try to restore sexual health, and you try to restore the relationship. And that's the key, is restoring a person's ability to relate to another person without sexualizing it
Right.
or desexualizing
Right. What's the craziest thing you heard?
it. Oh, I
Come on now, get it out.
Well, it's all confidential.
You're not giving up no
but-
names,
you're
so
not
don't
saying
worry
names.
about
But
it. Yeah,
no,
you're not
I've-
saying names.
No,
don't worry
no,
about
I've had guys be hopped up on porn for 12 hours straight.
Wow.
What do you mean?
I've had like just
Watching
12 hours, like
Watching
in
it?
a zone, just
Wow.
like bam, they can't get out.
Shit, I'm good for 30 minutes. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well,
12 hours, bro. What's wrong? That's insane.
I mean,
it
yeah,
is.
they build it up over time, But I've had, I mean, there's females with as many as 9 partners in a day.
God
that you've
damn.
talked to that are normal females, not like porn stars.
You talking about 9 partners a day as
There-
far as
so-
like having sex with like 9
Yeah.
9 different
So,
individuals?
so are
well,
those like, is that like a nympho
Wow, that's deep.
maniac? Or
Well, I mean,
crazy.
it's
Or is it a
it's a
internal-
person with a sexual addiction, you know?
wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, and the truth is the apps these days, you know, the social media
Yeah.
connections, they make it easy. It's a kid in a candy store
Yeah, true.
with unlimited money.
yeah, true.
Wow.
So there's for sex addiction, there's what we call the 3 A's.
Let's hear him.
So there's anonymity.
Okay.
So like with porn, I mean, I don't have to ever be known. You know, and,
Right.
and like you can get a random hookup, so you have the anonymity part of it.
Right.
You know, then there is the affordability.
Yeah.
You know, like you know, obviously prostitutes.
This is a cheap
hookers,
date. I can just
yeah,
watch porn.
those cost money, right?
Yeah.
But there's a lot, especially with the apps. You don't have to spend a dime.
At all.
Right. A
And
dollar depends which one you buy.
And then there is the accessibility.
That's cheap date.
yeah, right. Yeah.
And also, there's like a, you know, from a man's point of view, there is like a cowardly like block. Because back in my days, you had to have the heart and the goals to go up to a girl and say, "Damn,
Well,
girl,
you
look good,"
gotta have
know?
game,
Now you can be
right?
like,
Yeah.
"Hey,
Hey.
you look good. Hey, what were we talking about?"
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not, you know, it's not real. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. It's
Yeah.
not real. Because I mean, at least, hey, if you like that and you like to get out there, you got to have game. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to have game today.
You don't
At all.
You don't.
You know?
You could be a gameless DP bandit
Yeah.
and get some play on Instagram.
Yeah.
That
So
part.
the third one is accessibility. So I talk about it with like people who legitimately struggle with sexual addiction. I'm like, if I have my smartphone, you know, so that's your accessibility, your affordability, your anonymity, and I called that thing heroin, and I'm gonna put that in your pocket if you're a heroin addict. And I'm saying, okay, dude, go get sober. Like, that ain't gonna happen.
At all.
So it's a tough one to treat.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
takes time.
This thing is a vice, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
This thing can ruin your life, or it can help. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
No,
it's
that's
got its goods too. But
that's the thing that's crazy. It's like our world of technology is awesome.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it is.
Awesome because
Yes.
it connects us with all kinds of things around the world. I FaceTime with my family back in Colorado.
Nice.
You know, I could connect with my friends. We got, you know, again, we can connect with anyone around the world.
right.
But man, I mean, it's ice and it's fire.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it is as many good things are a part of it. We got to know, man. There's traps.
Yeah, for sure. How long
Yeah.
you been doing this for, Chris?
I've been doing it for about a decade.
Oh, good for
Yeah,
you, man.
Decade in the
over
game. There we
yeah,
go.
yeah. So
Okay.
I love it. I mean, I love
Yeah,
it.
it seems like you got the
Yeah.
right heart for it and the right mind. Like you want to help.
Yeah,
You seem like a genuine person that wants to help people.
dude, that's the key. Is I love people.
Helping
Yeah,
people.
you
I
can
just
tell.
I just love people, and I love stories. And so, and I think that's a real key thing here. Is it's like, I don't care how gnarly it is. There's only like out of the thousands of people that I've treated, I mean, there's only like a couple people that I'm like, no, that's a bad dude. Like,
Step away.
lock that up.
If anybody like ever needs you, like pretty much everything that you do, like is confidential, correct?
Yes. You can't
Okay.
go anywhere.
Okay.
Name, like,
Nice.
none of that.
Yeah,
none of
that's
that.
good right
you
there. All
know?
you
Yeah,
people
because
out
he
there
wants to
maybe
go.
needs-
He wants to go.
I need some help, man.
I know Big
I
Ice
need
too
some
well,
help,
man. That's
yeah.
a dual relationship.
He'll be like, yeah, Ice. Ice,
Ice-
you got DP
Ice-
because you drank 10 cases.
Yeah.
There's
that
nothing wrong
part,
with
huh?
you. Put the beer down.
You got diabetes and you drink every goddamn day.
because I can't see Ice on Friday and then talk shit with him about Broncos and Raiders on Sunday.
Raider
You know what
Nation
I'm
house,
saying?
baby.
Bronco?
Hell yeah.
Huge Bron. Yeah, I grew up in.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. The dude right here, Rockies, man.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey,
so,
no,
10
this-
years in the game.
Yeah,
You've heard, I'm sure,
everything. I mean,
What-
there's
what-
nothing that shocks me.
Yeah, I'm sure every remedy or whatever, every advice or everything you give is all, I'm sure it's not like cookie cut. You give
No,
everybody something
no.
different. What is one you could give somebody? Say there's somebody now that's watching us live.
Yeah, somebody
that's
listening right
addicted
now.
to porn. If you could give them some game
Some
or
good
her
advice.
some game, some advice, what would
Listen,
it be?
And this is for free, no charge.
Yeah,
Right here. Go
and
ahead.
you don't have
PayPal me.
no,
You
no,
owe me
you
some
don't.
money.
You don't have to spend a dime. There is 12-step meetings out there for this everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's Sex Addicts Anonymous, there's Sexaholics Anonymous. There's things out there, Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous. I mean, there's stuff out there. There's meetings everywhere. You go online, you're still anonymous. You show up to a meeting, you check it out and see what's going on. But this really affects us at a deep level. So there is therapists out there that can help you out with this, and so there's what's called a CSAT, is a certified sexual addiction therapist. They can help you with that. So, I mean, there's help out there. You don't have to suffer in this thing.
What does a treatment usually run cost-wise?
I mean, it depends. Unfortunately, if you're going to go to like an inpatient treatment for this particular thing, it's gonna
pricey?
Yeah, it's gonna run you around $50,000.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So,
But you don't have to go that route.
Yeah.
I mean, I have plenty of clients that I place in treatment, work with after.
They come visit you. You give them speak.
Yeah.
Give them a clear peace of mind, what they're doing wrong. Educate.
You got to set the boundaries in place. You got to limit the access. But you really have to teach people how to relate. How to be known. But because, again, one of the things that drives this thing is shame. Shame is the bus driver of this. So you got to, it's like, my team calls me the shame whisperer.
Right.
It's like you got to break that thing off.
Right. Right. So you didn't
and
answer.
learn how
you
to be a
didn't
human
answer
being.
my question though. I said, what was the craziest thing anybody
Craziest
ever told you?
thing
You got
anyone's
out of it,
ever
but I ain't
told
gonna
me.
let you get out of it, Daddy.
Tina, you're killing me here, man.
You're killing me. Come on, man. Chris, we're keeping it real now. Come on, baby. Let's get it.
I don't know. There's some weird stuff that goes
Tell
on
us.
in the S&M world, man.
Tell us, man.
Wow.
Like it's because it's
You don't gotta go crazy.
No,
Just
but
tell
it's
us
driven
why.
by intensity, So like I'm trying to think, make sure that I keep this. So like, there's a client who was having.
What's his name? Dr. Drew. He talks crazy.
I know.
So,
Yeah.
so
Well,
you,
he does a great job with
yeah,
it.
you could do better right now. We're giving you your time.
And this is
No,
your platform right here.
I had a
Mr.
client who
Williams
would go into
platform.
drug tunnels and do like,
What do you mean drug tunnels?
the tunnels that run under the border,
Okay.
Oh, okay.
and that they would go in there and reenact like cartel scenes and stuff like that with
Wow.
BDM, like tie it up and,
What's BDM?
do blow and whatever,
Wow.
So
What's BDM? I don't even know what that
it's
is.
like, tie up, beat people, submission,
Oh, okay, when they tie
master
each other
submission,
up.
yeah.
Oh,
So
That's right
ropes,
up your alley,
chains,
Nat.
gags, yeah. Listen,
So wait, they would go to San Diego
yeah.
drug tunnels and live that
And
fantasy.
because because it was again, it's
How did they know it was there?
I don't know.
Part of the cartel.
They figure,
somebody's
hey,
family
listen,
member.
addicts are creative. Our addiction is creative, man. It figures it out. And it just, because it goes to these,
That's
it's
crazy,
driven
bro.
by adrenaline and intensity. You just go further and further and further and further. Again, not everyone does that, obviously.
Yeah.
But it gets
So
crazy.
when you hear something like that, you're like, whoa. I'm sure you're human. We're all human.
Hey, you ever get any clients with somebody talking about as far as like them having sex with a blow up doll or something like that? Because I got a special.
Did you guys seen the thing about the horse?
Yeah. You talking about the girl having sex with the horse or something like that?
A girl?
yeah.
Yeah, I seen
Yeah,
that.
dudes, yeah.
Just mentioned they always talk about it like on Joe Rogan's podcast.
No.
Wow.
Like, bestiality is a lot more common than you would think it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
This guy
That's
died.
crazy.
That's big.
Yeah.
He died.
He died?
He died. His intestines were ruptured.
Who died? The horse?
No, the dog.
Wait, what? Nah, don't even tell me about that one, bro. Listen, forget that story. That's
I want to hear that
disgusting.
story. God damn it! I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chris. It's a joke. Go ahead.
Well,
I'm
no,
sorry.
but the key is
Too much, huh?
the key is getting a person to be a human being again, to feel their feelings, think their thoughts, and relate person to person.
Are these people on drugs, most of them?
Drugs can be a part of
what's
it.
it like-
They can easily be a part of it because you got to medicate the whole thing.
Wow.
Well, you got to be off your rocker to think that that's okay.
Well, there's a lot of mental illness that goes along with it, you
Yeah,
know.
it
So
is.
there's a lot of depression, anxiety, bipolar.
Wow.
There's just a lot that goes with it, man. Like living with the mental illness is torture. And you're trying to get out of it.
I'm glad I take my meds. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah, I didn't expect to go into it.
No, it's deep,
because
but
we
he
want
keeping it
people to
100
be
though.
educated,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
be
Yeah.
educated about-
Absolutely.
It's okay if you are that sick creep that's making
Well,
out with horses.
you know-
there is a person that you can
Well,
talk to.
honestly, my
know?
my public service announcement to that is this like, because the shame drives it, everyone that is stuck in it thinks that they're the most disgusting person on planet Earth.
So it's kind of like the devil on their shoulder.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's deep.
And it's like, nope, you're not, man. Unfortunately, it's common, but fortunately, there's a solution.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So do you? This is gonna turn a little bit, but do you believe in God?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you
Yeah.
tell them that God forgives them, kind of, and
Well,
how do you go about that part?
as a licensed therapist, I'm not permitted. It's not my role
Oh,
to
okay.
put
No,
my
no, no.
religious
Yeah.
views on
Yeah,
them.
no
But
religion.
If they ask.
yeah, but I've worked with a lot of pastors.
Uh-huh.
I work with a lot of Christian leaders at times.
All right. Good.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So the spiritual
Because
aspect
the
is
devil
huge.
is the one that that puts that guilt on your mind, in
Yeah.
your mind, and says, "Oh, you're weird," or "You're this or that."
Well,
you know.
and I oftentimes make that distinction. I'm like, hey, a healthy guilt, meaning guilt that's accurate, is good because it tells you where you're off.
Yeah, your conscience.
And it tells you that you've done something. You've done something that isn't off. So, okay, go correct it.
Yeah.
Be simple about it.
Yeah.
But shame doesn't say you've done something wrong. Shame says you are wrong.
Wow.
It's an
Right.
identity. It's like you're gross, or you're disgusting, or you're unlovable, unworthy, man. You're a pervert. And it hammers. It just
Do you believe
hammers.
everybody knows right and wrong?
Well,
question.
I mean, Tina, you're getting deep here, but yes. Yes.
I do too.
Yes.
I do too.
I mean, everyone.
At what age would you say a person should know what's right or wrong?
Damn, second good question. Wow, that's dope.
So we're born with just basic survival in us.
Uh-huh.
But that survival is sustained by relationship, right? So like when your boy was born, you know, when your
Yeah,
kids
yeah.
are born,
Yeah.
like your mind
Yeah,
your heart just
instinct.
goes somewhere else,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
right
it's
off.
all about them.
I can
Yes,
vouch for
but
that.
I know people that doesn't happen to.
I know. Well, there's some people that are cut off, and that's just
Cut off where? From the heart part or the mental part?
both.
Oh, okay, just dry.
Yeah.
That's scary for humans, because we all should have that in
Hey,
us.
I say this. Whatever a person does, don't ever let your heart go dark and cold, because
Yeah.
when it does,
You're done.
game over.
Yeah, you're done. Yeah.
And it's
Wow,
usually
that's
that's driven by isolation.
So you're a very compassionate man, obviously, because you want to help people solve problems.
I do, and again, I just love people. The stories are awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
like everyone has this like really cool story.
Right. What made you want to do this, dude?
That's the question I was getting ready to ask.
What hold on.
Yeah.
What makes a man say I want to listen to somebody's
people's
problems,
problems. Yeah.
and figure out a way?
Yeah.
It might take 10 visits, 20 visits, 50 visits before I can even narrow down
Yeah.
some advice that maybe they hopefully might take. What makes a man want to do
Shit,
it,
me,
that
it'd be
job?
50 visits so I can check that, get that money, that check. I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm being funny, but go ahead.
No, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
no, but
take
he-
my time on this one.
It doesn't seem like he's like that though.
No, he's
It's-
legit.
He
He's
seems
legit.
far from that. He
Yeah,
seems
yeah,
like
yeah,
he's really
yeah,
compassionate.
yeah.
He
He's definitely
cares.
legit.
No, hey,
I can see
let-
right
let me-
through people.
yeah,
that way.
yeah, you know who's who and
let me
what's
take
what.
a sidebar to that.
Yeah.
Because I want to say this to everyone out there, and this is why I love your podcast. This is
Thank
why I
you.
love
Thank you so much.
like what you guys are doing, and this
Prince
is
in the
why I
house,
love
Chris
hip
Williams.
hop, because the good ones, they mine their craft.
Right.
They
care.
dig it out, and they go and they go and they go and they go, and it's like so many people assume that you get to where you are just because you got talent.
Yeah.
Right.
This is the great thing about living in LA, Southern California. Everyone's got talent.
Yeah.
Everyone's got game.
Yeah.
You got to be good at your craft.
Yeah.
And so for me, I never ever believe that I've arrived.
Yeah.
I want to get better and better and better at my
yeah.
craft.
Keep it
Right.
going. Yeah.
And so,
nice.
and again,
How do you do that?
I,
This is new to me. Like I have one doctor friend besides my own personal besides my own personal doctors. So like getting into his head is like
Yeah.
it's
Picking
like
his brain.
I love it because I don't know what makes them tick. What is it about them that wants to help somebody?
Yeah.
You know?
So in that craft, it's just like, one, I believe there's always a solution.
Right.
And two, I believe the solution is not in me. It's in the person I'm helping.
Wow, that's
And
deep.
you just got to uncover it.
Right.
And everyone inside of them, this is where sort of my faith or my spiritual belief comes in. God created for everyone to create.
Right.
Like that's our job, is to make something.
Right.
You know? So like right now tonight, the job for Big Ice and Tina is to create a really cool podcast.
Right.
platform and all that.
And so everyone that comes into my office, I'm like, okay, you got a huge problem. You're a victim to something. You're powerless over something. Now, how do we create something new? And it's already inside of you, and we just got to discover what that is.
Right.
Now, for me, what got me into this is that there's a couple of things. I went through my own process where I got help myself, got into therapy.
Okay.
And my therapist was awesome. It just helped me out so much. And I loved what he did. And I'm like, I'd love to do what this guy does.
Changed my life. I want to help somebody.
And
what age was that? What do you think?
late 20s,
Late 20s,
like
okay.
27, 28.
Okay.
And I think the other aspect of that is that, and hey, to disclose, man, I was hopped up on porn. I couldn't break out of it.
Right.
Oh,
And,
wow,
and
okay.
you know, with a deep religious belief, you
Right.
know, it was killing me. And so I got help from it, got into recovery, got into therapy. The other thing is that I just sort of had this, I just understood people. I understood the human process and how it worked.
You
And so-
care. That's why.
And I care. I'd like,
yeah, most people don't care. It's like one ear, not the other.
Not the
well,
other,
you know,
yeah.
we ain't doctors. You know what I mean? We're just rapping out.
I am.
but
I'm Dr.
his-
Feelgood. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're Dr. Phil these nuts. That's who you are.
I hope they cheesy. Go ahead. Don't.
They're sweaty right now. It's summer. But, you know.
these nuts. Yeah.
Oh man, you're killing me right now. Jesus
So,
Christ.
so 10 years in the game, you've heard probably some stuff me and Ice will never hear in our life.
At all.
How do you go home and not lose your mind?
Yeah. Good question.
They're not my stories, they're their stories. And so there is what we call a boundary. There's
Do you
a boundary.
shut that down?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I would suck at that,
I
bro.
have
What time
to-
do you shut it down? I'm sorry. I'm being funny.
No, that's a good question. Because Ice asked a really good question. What time do I shut that down? Every time they walk out the door.
Wow.
It's their story, man. I gotta know, like I gotta know where
Have you gotten that
I
one where
begin
you're
and
like, whoa, I got to do more for this person.
Yeah, I mean, I get tugged at all the time. You know, I mean, the truth is that when you get that deep into people's stories and you get that deep into their lives, I mean, there's residue. You
Yeah.
know, it gets on you.
Yeah.
And so I got to do my own work.
Yeah, we're human. You know, you hear somebody going through heart, you know, something that's
Yeah.
terrible. Or you know, maybe because I'm that way. Like, I want to help. Like, hey, this person's house burned down. I'm like putting posts up. Hey, we need to buy these people furniture. We need to, you know what I mean?
but
And-
that-
and
that's-
all that stuff,
it
yeah.
stays with me till I
But
figure
Hood
out.
Santa is like that's the coolest thing out there, man.
And
That's what you do.
I don't know how to stop it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's
I do not stop till I get what they need.
that's a good thing, man.
Yeah, it is a good thing.
That's a
It's damn
good thing.
So I'm thinking
for you.
in my part, and you know, mine is nothing. He's doing it daily, bro.
But,
Daily,
but,
all day.
But the key is that I got to know where I begin and where I end.
Okay.
I know my role. A lot
separate
of
the two?
yeah,
You
a lot of
take
people-
years to get to that level.
It just takes a lot. It takes focus and training, man. It really does. But a lot of people are saying, "Hey, man, you got to get out of the box."
Yeah.
You know, you got to get. I'm like, no, you got to get in your box and stay in your box.
Oh, okay.
Decorate it. Get ESPN or whatever
Yeah.
you need in that box. But when you do your box really, really, really well, watch what happens.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I know where I begin and where I end. And so when my client walks out the door, it's their story, it's their life, my job is done.
Yeah. Do you see a lot of sexual abuse patients and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I know.
Tons.
I know a couple people, and they never really talk about it. They usually talk about it when they're really drunk or something. And it gets crazy. It's
I've seen
sad.
everybody talk
Well,
after a
the-
couple
It
there's-
gets
drinks.
sad though because you know I didn't go through that, and I don't even know how to answer some of that stuff. I
Yeah.
just say, hey, you know, sorry.
Well,
Yeah.
and
It's terrible though.
there's a spiritual writer. His name is Richard Rohr, but he has this quote
Shout out.
that's amazing. Yeah. It says, "The pain that we do not transform, we transmit."
Okay.
And so when I'm dealing with a person struggling in sexual addiction, you better believe I'm assessing childhood abuse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so it goes hand in hand.
Oh, yeah. Now, I'm not saying everyone who acts out was sexually abused, but man, the correlation or how those things work together is huge.
Yeah. I think every man has watched porn, bro.
It's I mean, it's
Whoever
it's
says
out
they've-
there. It's
they've
out
never
there.
watched porn. Mark,
Hey, you know what? A
stop.
funny story, like,
I know you're over
like,
there
hey, keeping it like G with you. A funny
watching.
story. I can remember, like being a little boy, hanging out with my dad. Like we're at one of his buddies' house, and I can remember watching the movie. No, seriously, dude, like Heavy Metal. The movie called Heavy Metal.
yeah.
It's like it's like a little bit of like porn in there.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know, whatever.
Like soft porn?
No, yeah. It's like a cartoon animation movie. You never heard of that movie
No.
called Heavy Metal?
No.
Dope movie. Heavy Metal, yeah. You know
That's
what
why
I'm
you're
talking about.
suffering from DP now.
Yeah.
I just
Because I
diagnosed
started,
you.
because I
I just
started at a young
diagnosed you
age.
right now.
There's an expiration date on that thing, right?
You an official doc? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm giving.
Hey, one more time? Okay, I'm sorry. Oh,
I'm giving therapy sessions after the show. Text
that
me,
part.
DM me.
Yeah.
So, the goal for you is what? As a therapist, like,
Yes.
what? I'm sure you have a goal. I'm sure you probably think like, I want to help out. I don't know. Maybe this is fantasy talk for me.
Yeah.
Like, I want to help out. 500,000 people, and I'm hanging it up. Like,
Well-
has that
how
even
many
crossed
clients?
your mind?
How many clients you think you went through already? I'm not went through,
Oh
but rather.
man,
Patience.
Patience,
yeah,
rather.
clients,
We're doctors here,
clients,
buddy.
patients, whatever.
Yeah,
I think that it's over 3,000.
Oh, good
Nice.
for you,
Yeah,
man.
I mean it's
That's
a lot.
huge.
It is huge.
That's huge. 3,000 souls right there.
The thing is there is for me there's
18 and over.
not all early on. I did a lot more
Oh, yeah, you
children,
did say that.
adolescents.
You did say that.
And so, but again, I just felt like, once I know my groove, once I know who my sweet spot is, it's just like, do your good work and do it over and over. And I live next to 19 million people in Southern California.
Yeah.
There's enough business.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I also know that I'm limited. Like one person, 1 hour at one time. And so my new goal is.
So you give them an hour of your time.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you the man, bro.
Well, and there's some
It's a
guys
long
or some
time
people.
to talk to somebody.
Yeah,
Well,
it
there's
is.
some people I'll do a whole day intensives. I just got done a couple weeks ago
Rather
with a
deal with you
2-day
for an hour.
intensive.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So 2 straight days, and so
Intensives. What does that mean?
we'll go for about 8 to 10 hours a day.
Together?
Yeah.
Just rapping out?
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah. So especially if I'm having someone that has maybe more of a high profile, that has the resources, but also a crazy schedule, and they got to just like mark off like a day or two.
Yeah,
And
yeah. That's when
so
you're getting
You
that
got
time in
celebrity?
there, in
You
other
got
words.
celebrity patients?
There's some with names.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Is one of them named Gary?
Man, Gary. It's ice. It's ice.
Another guy.
But
part, huh?
but then here's you guys already know this, because of who you've been around, and they're people,
Yeah, of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so there's as much just satisfaction and reward out of my pro bono client, who I'll do for free because they don't have any resources, as there
cool,
would
man.
of someone who may have a name.
Yeah.
Because again, the human story to me is fascinating.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm
So
sure.
how often, like as far as like pro bono, like how often you think?
I do 2 a week.
2 a week, nice.
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
That's why that keeps coming back around.
Well, and part of it too is like give it away.
Yeah.
My job, my ultimate job is to increase relational health in the world.
Right.
If we are better relational beings, it's a better world for all of us.
Yeah,
Oh
it
yeah,
is.
for sure.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, for sure. What is the your number? How can I say this without sounding racist? Who comes to see you more? What nationality?
Black,
What-
white, Mexican, Asians. What you
What
got?
would you say, or is it pretty even?
No, I would say as being here in Orange County or
Right,
whatever. I mean, it's a white population, so I got a
I would
lot.
say Newport. Yeah.
yeah,
it's-
yeah. So obviously, nationality, it's white.
Right.
On my team, I have a black woman who is phenomenal, Jasmine
Sick.
Walker. She kills it.
Right.
And so does amazing work. I have a couple Hispanic guys, Jeff Ortiz, and
I think that's Jeff calling right now on the house phone. I'm sorry.
yeah,
go ahead.
it's George Garcia, and that's one of the things I wanted to create a diverse team of professionals. I have this woman, Dr. Susan Hastings. She's in
So
probably
you got a big staff.
yeah. I got a few underneath me, and that's my goal. Is like we've got to get more people help.
Yeah.
Because listen, pain is our like entry fee into planet Earth. We're all gonna have it.
Yes.
You know, but again, if we don't deal with our pain, we're gonna deal with it in weird ways, and it's not gonna look pretty. And
True
so,
that.
if we can just get people into healing, get people into becoming more of their true and authentic self, yeah, it's game over.
I got a buddy of mine, and you know what? Like, this is like a
That's
real
true what
story.
he's saying.
All he was addicted to was like 69. Real talk. He liked
Yeah.
69. No, that's real talk.
And that was the only thing. Yeah, no. Yeah, that's the
No,
only.
you think I'm being funny, but
No,
I'm
no,
saying
no.
it's good.
That's
But I'm
the,
saying that's
but that's the only. But he couldn't do anything else, right?
69. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
So that's what.
That's
okay.
all he could
so
do.
That's all he liked
so
to do.
here's a trippy thing.
So his mind was fascinated by that?
Well, here's a trippy thing. Addiction sells
Real
you a
story.
bill of goods. It sells, it
Wait,
sells you.
start over. Addiction sells you?
It sells you a bad offer.
Okay.
It says, "Hey, you're free to do anything until you're in it, because then you're not free to do anything but that thing."
Yep.
You know what I mean?
What?
You're free not to do it.
Yep.
You know, so this dude's free to do 69. He's just not free to do anything else. So he's stuck in it. It sucks. He doesn't have this greater sexual experience because he can't do anything else.
That's nuts, bro.
I know.
You
It's a
thought I made
crazy
that up?
thing.
No, that's real talk.
That's insane to me, bro. How does a man... I mean, you know, I
mean,
guess
we
we're all
think-
different.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, but I
guess
mean,
could
it's just
say,
like, you know, everybody got to be on the rails. Everybody likes something different. That's what
Dude,
this
the truth
individual
of it,
likes.
but you guys know we're weird, man. We're all we all got weird in us, you know.
Yeah, we do.
That's, you know, I wouldn't even say that that's really weird. That's just kind of like, if that's all he could do, that's kind of off, you know what I mean?
But yeah, but that
Well, it's good
or
for two
off.
people, though. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we all got off in us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so,
Oh, wow.
but
part.
that's the key.
69 was this thing.
It's 69.
We need to have you on this show.
We need to get him.
We need to have him on your show and ask him. I need to give him some. I need to give him some answers since I'm getting schooled right now.
Hey,
We have a subcategory of the show, Pricks Therapy Edition.
yeah, the therapeutic.
69.
What school did you go to?
I went to Hope International University to get my
Sick.
master's degree, and so yeah, great Christian university.
Sick.
I actually didn't know much about it before I went there, but the education was phenomenal.
Wow.
I mean, I put it up against any other.
How many years does it take to get your degrees to do this?
It depends. I did a 3-year track. A lot of people do a 2-year track. You can get a master's in 2 years. If you want to get a doctorate, you're looking at more like 4 to 6, sometimes even 8, depending on what you're going. You know, what you're actually studying in that.
Right.
So yeah,
So do people come in and talk to you about multiple things, or is it just what you said?
multiple
Oh,
things.
okay.
You know, I really, again, my sweet spot right now.
It's marriage.
Nah, well, marriage can be a part of it, but it's
That's awesome.
working with influencers and leaders, you know, people of impact. Keeping their life in balance is torturous, man. Something gets out of whack, whether it be a marriage, whether it be their parenting, their whatever the case may be. So what I like to do is I bring them, I lay out their entire story and show where their balance, where their center line is, where their sweet spot is, and show where they get off of the sweet spot is where things go sideways.
Right.
So a lot of people, especially here in LA, think that opportunity is the game.
Right.
And I'm like, no, you got to be careful. Opportunity is a curse because you could take the wrong opportunity to do the thing that really doesn't
Oh
do
yeah,
it
you
for
could take that. Say, oh, I'm gonna take this 5 pounds of cocaine. It's an opportunity in Las Vegas and be done, homie, and never come home. For 20
Gunzo,
years.
lights out, right?
Come
I have
home
no
for 20
answer
years,
for that.
right? And you'd be like, that's an opportunity. That
Yeah.
ain't no opportunity. That's a setup.
But when
It's true. I just put it in hood terms. It's the same thing, you know.
well, yeah. What when we
kill me
know
with that one.
when we know who we are,
It's like, how do I know?
yeah.
That part.
He's giving it. He's the doctor when it comes to that story. Go for it, Chris.
But
Oh, wow.
when we know who we are,
Yeah.
when we know what we're about and what we're good at, and when we know our values
Mm-hmm.
and we hit that sweet spot, success is inevitable.
Yeah.
Inevitable.
I saw, actually, my wife told me something cool. She said, God gives, she read or saw something. She said, God gives talent equally,
Yeah.
but opportunity is kind of what you make of it.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you know, and you and I
dope.
were rapping about this before,
Yeah.
and that is so many of us play a powerless victim.
Yeah.
In some area in our life, like I can't, I can't do what Ice does.
Yeah.
Ice has this incredible man cave. He does all these really cool
Right.
things. He has this experience.
Right.
And,
He's got
and
DP. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And listen, I'm
problems, I'm sorry,
I'm not a connected cool black guy.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll
So,
never be. Yeah.
I'll never be.
Yeah.
So you hear it under there. I'm not.
Right.
Victim.
Right, right.
Because I'm
Yeah.
comparing myself to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is I gotta own
You
what's
gotta live
mine.
with what's yours. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
hell
the
yeah.
truth is, every
time.
single one of us is born to make something.
Yep.
Make something.
Yep. The Prince
And
podcast.
again,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
that's why I love hip hop.
Yeah.
Because you see these cats coming from these ridiculously horrible
Areas, right.
conditions, and they start making something. They make art. They make poetry. They make rhythm. They make an experience, a
Yeah, hip hop
lifestyle,
started.
an event.
Yeah.
Hip hop started because they were too poor to buy instruments.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Dude.
He didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, hold on,
Dude.
hold on.
No,
hold
no,
on.
that's-
Come on.
where's
No,
education?
No,
Come
no,
on.
you're right about that, but I'm saying
Come
since
on.
you like, you know what I'm saying, you went the hip hop direction.
No, no,
Yeah,
I'm telling
yeah.
you.
No,
I'm telling
he
you.
like
no,
hip hop.
I'm
I'm
no,
like-
no, that's
And that's
amazing.
something he wanted to kind of jump into.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm agreeing with what he's saying.
yeah.
I'm
No,
agreeing
no,
with
no,
what
I
he's
got
saying.
you. No,
Yeah,
we're on
yeah,
the
They
same page.
they couldn't
Yeah.
afford guitars. They couldn't afford drums, basses.
It makes
so they
total
were
sense, man.
the next thing was a turntable or a cassette player, and they figured out how to loop certain parts of beats
Yeah.
and put it together,
Dude,
and then they
that's
would
so
just start
cool.
rapping over
That
it.
That's so cool. You
Because-
make it. You take,
yeah.
and that's the key. Is you take whatever is in front of you.
Right.
That's the whole thing. Is it's like if I think that I've got to have this dude's or that dude's thing to make something, I'm out of my game. I take what's in front of me and I
Make it
make
work.
something of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Dude, that's yes.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see you
That's
digging
it.
that then, huh?
That's it.
Well, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. You got. I mean, we're all born the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't have some, you just don't want it bad enough,
Yeah.
or you're lazy, or you don't want to work to get it,
You gotta
or you don't
believe
want
it,
to go
man.
to school for 4 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you want his life, but you don't want to do
Yeah,
the
that'd
work.
be me.
No, no. The one
just
of
an
the, one
example.
of the guys on my team, George on my team,
I
man.
did graduate at
his
3.4 though. I'm
his
sorry.
backstory is brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, lost parents to
Yeah.
addiction at an early age, in the foster system, like all kinds of different things. His grandparents stepped up, but like the dude's getting his PhD right now.
There you go.
And he's
that
a
stuff
killer
drove him,
psychologist. He's
you
going
know?
to be a killer psychologist, man.
That's kind of why I do the Hood Santa. You know, I go to
Yeah.
these little,
Yeah.
the under-resourced areas, under-resourced kids, and I see that they're crushing it,
Mm-hmm.
and they have one, single mom or whatever, or no mom. They're living with grandma or
Yeah.
grandpa.
Well,
you know,
the other thing about hip hop is you're creating something that didn't previously exist.
right? Some
So-
of it,
Some of it.
Well,
yeah.
no. Think of like Snoop.
yeah.
Like I'm sure he draws from something, obviously,
Yeah,
because
Slick
we all
Rick.
do. But he's making up a language.
Yeah. For shizzle, my nizzle.
You
But
know,
shizzle my dizzle
you
on the
take
rizzle.
you take
Oh,
Eminem
Snoop
out
in
of
the house.
Detroit, and you're seeing how he plays with
Words.
diction.
Yeah.
He's playing with the pronunciations.
Yeah, it
and-
makes them work.
yeah, and he's making something out of the language right in front of him.
Yeah.
That is just it's mind blowing.
All right, I got you right here. Like, since you wanted to go a different direction like that, what it
Nah,
seems
nah.
okay, no.
Yeah, go with
No,
Ice.
yeah.
Go with Ice.
Here's what. No. Here's what I'm doing, Chris. Okay, Mr. Chris Williams, hip hop Chris Williams. Who do you like? What do you do? Like, yeah, who do you like? Like, who do you like? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as far as like, when did you fall in love with hip hop?
Okay, so early on, like this is like junior high. So there's a little. I don't want to get too backstory, but like.
Okay.
I grew up in like the rich kid neighborhood in my hometown, which is not like that big of a deal in Longmont, Colorado. But like at the same time, like all of
Bullshit. You grew up in Hemet. Go ahead. Though. I'm sorry.
it's like that, Hemet and Longmont are probably the same thing.
Okay.
But with that said, all of us kids that grew up around each other, like our parents were all getting divorced around the same time. So it was like Lord of the Flies. We like created our own like world. But when we discovered
Dope.
Beastie Boys and Run DMC, it was game over.
Oh yeah, all of
Because
us.
we didn't have angry music, you know what I mean? Like we didn't have
You guys
something
have
to,
punk rock.
but we weren't. I mean, what? Like
you gotta
Depeche Mode?
You gotta be
No.
kind of.
You
That
know,
ain't punk rock.
No,
Punk
no,
rock
no,
is like
no. Yeah, we
Clash,
had Clash. We
Rancid.
had Ramones. We had all of
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah, but punk
Shout out
rock's
to
intense.
Jordan
You
Ramone,
gotta
yeah.
be
But
special for that.
no.
rock
I
is
mean,
dope. No,
seriously,
punk rock is dope.
seriously. When Tougher Than Leather and License to Ill hit the scene, it's game over for us. You know, and so as we
To be
start-
honest, the white people made hip hop blow up.
Yeah, he did.
No,
You
no,
guys are the ones that were
no,
supporting
Middle
it.
Yeah,
America,
they were.
like
Yeah.
Longmont, Colorado. Like you
Uh-huh.
wouldn't expect anything, but then you get movies like Colors come out, and then so like we
hear that?
we hear
Yeah.
this,
Okay.
and then like so it introduces us to LL Cool J,
Right.
And then you get stuff like Boys in the Hood, and then
Right.
like Eazy-E, and then you get NWA.
Uh-huh.
Now I got to be honest. Obviously, a white kid in suburban Denver. I mean, that's like wild stuff. I mean, it's blowing our mind. But in the same sense,
Denver Donkeys in the house. Go ahead. Sorry. Broncos. Go ahead.
but in the same sense, I mean, we're sneaking in on our basements and on our own, away from our parents, because they would freak out, obviously, if they're. But we were eating it up, eating it up, because it was giving us power where we felt powerless. You know.
Right.
I mean, and I'll shoot it to you.
Were you intrigued by the stories, or what was it? Like, because I'm sure it was way different. from-
Honestly, I think we were just intrigued by the bravado,
yeah.
Wow.
but the sound was different. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it was refreshing.
Yeah.
Like, this is sick.
I mean, Boys in the Hood are
Yeah,
always
yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, we would just be like just walking down the street, you know.
Yeah.
yeah,
And my
that's
6'4", you know.
yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
we just.
So you grew up a hip hop head then?
Yeah, but yes, but I liked it all, man. I mean, I'm a huge, like, ridiculous U2 fan.
Yeah, me too.
You
It's
know?
so funny because I picture you like maybe like Eddie Money. Baby, hold on to me.
Yeah, no, Boston. You know, there's no classic rock. I love the Eagles. You know, I love Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd. You know, I
All in
some-
all, it's
some of
just
the hair band.
another brick in the wall.
no, yeah.
Pink Floyd. You never knew that?
No.
But no, but the music
Pink
is
Floyd
it,
is
man.
sick, dude.
because music gives us the voice that's in us that we can't
Right.
find.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when it comes out, we're like,
You
no,
sing
no,
in the
that's
shower
it.
or what?
Shower,
I almost got
car.
it. I almost got it.
No,
Don't
my
stop
wife has the voice, man.
Don't stop believing. Who's that, Journey or something?
Yeah,
Journey, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So no, rock and roll, obviously classic rock, hair bands.
You ever been to a hip hop show?
Yeah. Oh,
Which
yeah.
ones?
I went to early on. I went to MC Hammer. No, yeah, I know, it's a white dude thing. Well, but no,
I hope it wasn't
no,
too legit
the
to quit.
crazy,
That
no,
was
no,
good.
the
Did
craziest
the first
one-
album.
the crazy at the Fillmore in downtown Denver.
Yeah.
As a junior in high school,
You told me that story. Go ahead.
and Anthrax comes out with
Sick.
Public Enemy.
Oh, that must have been
So
sick.
you know, so like that's when Bring the Noise was coming out.
Noise. Yeah. Wow.
Dude, I was afraid for my life when that song came on, and they all came out there. But that was another band, man. Like Public Enemy, KRS-One,
Yeah.
Chuck
yeah, they
D,
had a message too.
Flavor Flav. I
Yeah.
mean, and so again, they have the movie that comes out, you know, Do the Right Thing,
Right.
you know, and you have Spike Lee and all that.
Yeah, it's
and
dope.
I mean, it exposes us to the world to something different.
Shout
but,
out to Spike.
But I don't want to overshoot this, but I also think that for us white kids growing up in suburbia,
Nice.
Right.
whose families are falling apart and can't figure things out, it gives us a sense of power. Like,
Really?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, come on, like, fight the power.
All right.
Yeah.
So what you're saying, and white America has the same problems as like blacks, Mexicans, and everybody.
Certain
People,
parts, I'm sure.
people have the same problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I say our problem is that we play victim. And that's the problem with our politics, man.
Wow.
I was gonna just go into that.
Yeah.
Are things changing now that Trump's in office? Do you
I
do you
think-
see a lot of more people popping up that are telling you, you know what?
I think Trump highlights what's already been there.
Yeah.
Trump is exposing.
Like
Racism.
what? Explain.
Racism.
Well, it is racism, but more deeper than that,
Hmm.
it's that we're all playing like, you know, we all have to have an enemy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so when we choose the wrong enemy, we're going to have the wrong solution.
Hmm.
So if Gary, if, you know, ICE is
Yeah.
my enemy,
Uh-huh.
well, why?
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like honestly,
T-Nuts
like a
is
lot
my
of that
enemy,
shit
or
is
what?
like it's taught.
It is
Anybody
taught.
Like,
It is taught.
I mean, I'm
It
just
is.
a firm believer
Well,
in
No,
that.
it's
like, you
taught
know?
because my
Without-
homie that I grew up with, they're black, you know. And once you get to about high school, you almost like this is a sick podcast. Turn around and see what's going on. This is the one right here.
This is the one.
Lost
the words?
My homies that I grew up with since we were like 4 or 5 years old, right? Then you get to about middle school and then high school, and then you have to hate each other.
Yeah.
Because, babe, wait a second though, because it's like that in the streets. The streets almost make it that way.
Well,
So you are taught that.
And the problem with that is
No color
victims
lines with
can't
me.
be
Okay.
creative
Uh-huh.
because we're too fear-based.
Yeah.
If we're stuck in fear, we're screwed.
Yeah.
Fear gets us into the lower part of the brain. I don't want to get all technical here, but it's all fight, flight, freeze, reactivity. Our prefrontal cortex, our God brain, and prefrontal cortex is where good creativity, good connection, and so as long as we're in a reactive binary system where it's like, I hate you because you're a Republican or I hate you because you're a Democrat, there'll be no good solutions going forward.
What about
damn,
if they
you
come
going
in and
deep,
say, I
making me
hate.
think.
What about if I came in and say, you know what? I hate this mother effer and I'm going to go kill him.
I'll say it for you, motherfucker. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Would,
Well, there's
would
a
you
thing
have
called,
to report
yes,
me?
yeah, there's a thing
Okay,
called
good.
Tarasoff.
Okay, good.
And so I'm a mandated reporter, so I'd want to know who you want to kill, what and I'd have to put that on the radar. I'd have to report
good.
it to the cops. Yeah.
Okay, so is that something that's done right away then?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
You can't waste time on that.
I mean,
Wow.
that's cool that he got the power to do that. You know, 'cause
Yeah.
he could save somebody's whole family.
Yeah.
People
Now
are
here's the
sick,
crazy
bro.
thing. Now, if someone says, "Hey, I knocked this person out 5 years ago," I can't say anything about that.
Okay, well, about 5 years and a week ago, me, Joe Pesci, and Danny DeVito. Danny, what's his name? Not Danny DeVito. That's a little dude. Al Pacino. We whacked somebody. You can't tell, right? That was 5 years ago.
Yeah, 5 years ago. Yeah.
So it's not getting any worse since Trump stepped in. You don't feel a change, swinging
I
momentum.
mean, I think people are getting
hey,
angrier
bro, we got a doctor here, bro.
and more reactive, but I don't think that. But here's
I'm
the
just messing
thing.
with him. He
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
give a
So
crap.
Tina, here's the
Yeah.
thing. We've got to create new solutions outside the political system.
Yeah.
We got to create a new politic.
It's always gonna stay
Do-
political though.
And that's
Oh,
what I'm saying. A
forever.
new
Forever,
politic.
you know what I
A
mean?
new
Yeah.
politic.
So
I'm
I walk into you, I say, hey, I hate these beaners. Go Trump. I want this.
Beaner means
What
Mexican,
kind-
Chris.
He knows.
Dude, Longmont, Colorado. I know exactly what that means. You know.
I hate, excuse me, guys. I just burped.
That part.
How do you combat that, or what? Or how do you get me to chill when I'm so
Dude,
enraged and hateful?
T-Nut, I get into your hate, man. I let you have it.
Yeah.
I let
Let
you
me
have
have
it.
it right now. What would you tell me?
I said, why do you hate him?
Yeah. I hate them. They stink. They're ugly. They're brown. They're not white or whatever. They freaking play Bon Jovia and freaking they drive loud
And a big
motorcycles
deal
in the
CD in the house.
alley.
Yeah.
While I'm trying to sleep, while my 6-month-old baby's trying to go to bed.
They're bumping the music.
Banging lights and Shaka Khan all damn night. Drinking cervezas.
So
I can go on and on. you know?
So let me understand this. They're living the same life you do with different details. That's why you hate them?
No, they're not. I'm hanging out watching fishing.
Yeah, different details.
Fishing.
Fishing.
So racist. I'm watching Duck Dynasty, bro.
Dynasty.
Yeah, I'm like different details. You're living life with different details. That's all it is, man. Why? So why do you need to hate them?
Yeah.
What are they threatening you?
Yeah.
They're
What are they
taking
ta-
over. They're taking
Taking
all
over
the jobs.
what? Yeah, the job you won't want. Like, what are you
Yeah.
talking about? And then I get into like, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
What? Don't make it about them. Make it about you. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
You're playing victim and scapegoating them. That's all hate is a scapegoat.
Yeah.
Because you
Wow.
don't feel like you have the power to do anything. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, then figure it out.
Wow.
I'm sure you've had some sick people go in there and tell you some crazy. He's playing cool, but I know he's heard. Just imagine, he listens to people's rage, right? Problems, you know. It's like,
Everybody out there, like I don't like black people. I don't like Mexicans. I don't like whites.
you don't?
No, I don't like Asians.
Why, bro?
No, I don't like myself.
Why not? see what happens?
Yeah.
He's got a coarse bucket hat on.
I got a
Where-
bucket hat on. You
Where'd
know what
you
I'm
get
saying?
that from?
Huh?
Where'd
He
you
got
get
that for
from?
me.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got that from
Golden, Colorado.
Golden,
Denver, man.
Colorado.
Yeah.
That part. Coors Light, the best beer.
Because Gary puts
Shout
up with
out.
me. I come over here, talk Rockies, talk Broncos.
Yeah, you guys hang out back
CU
here.
Buffs.
Yeah,
like
we kick
that.
it when you're not getting on my nerves. I could tolerate for like an hour and a half.
Yeah?
I was
Yeah.
up here last night watching Power
Is there
or something
anything
like
you
that.
want to say before we end this?
Yeah.
Anything you want to get out there? Let the people know how to find you. Let them know.
Yeah.
RenovariCounseling.com is my website. Renovari is like the town Reno, Renovari, the word counseling.com. Instagram, CMWilliams75, the year I was born. You can figure out my age. Same thing with Twitter, at CMWilliams75. And yeah, I'm coming out with a couple books in the next couple years here, one on love, one on power. But what I want to say is, hey, y'all out there, Go make something good. You got it in you.
Yeah,
Go
you
do
do.
it and stop whining and complaining and bitching and go do it.
Get
Stop
it done.
bitching.
I
Get
love
it done.
that.
Get it
Stop.
done.
So with that, man, we're gonna end.
Yeah,
Chris?
you want to give a shout out to the Pricks or something like that?
Yeah, hey, Pricks, right here.
Yeah, always.
And Hood Santa
Yeah.
is doing some amazing things.
Thank you.
Big things. Hood Santa in the house.
I mean, some really cool things. You want to check it out. You want to get on board. You want to do something good. You
Yes.
want to create good things in the world. Check it out.
Yes.
Big Ice right here.
Thank you.
This guy has crazy stories.
Yes.
Crazy stories. Now, then these stories you want to
They
hear.
start off with an opportunity. Most of those stories.
No, they're good stories. That's the thing. The spice of life is good stories. This guy's got them.
Yeah.
Listen, keep tuned in. These guys got great lineups going on. Let's do this.
You're the
Let's
man,
do this,
Chris.
Pricks.
Hey, listen. Also, before I go, if we're still live, Mark? We're doing the backpack drive August 4th. We still need some backpacks, some school supplies. So if you want to donate, you want to help out the cause, please do. I think we've raised so far maybe a little bit less than 300 backpacks by myself. I know my partners might have some already, but the more the better. So if you guys
Yes.
get a chance, opportunity to donate anything, $5, $10, whatever's on your heart, we'll take it and we'll turn it into a backpack. Hit us up. All right, guys. Good night.
Hold on,
We're
I
outta
got
here.
something I want to say. Yeah, everybody, please out there, donate to the Hood Santa. My buddy T-Nut, good dude, my partner right here on the Pricks podcast. I really appreciate him. Appreciate Chris Williams coming out and everybody. Hood Santa, look out for my boy. Backpacks, school supplies, everything else. Really appreciate you. And kids out there, be good. And you know what I'm saying? Get ready for school and keep your grades up. And everybody, we are blessed, and I hope you stay blessed.
Yep.
Thank you, everybody.
Good
Appreciate
night.
you. The Pricks.